they have no choice because they also need business. Then they will have to do it.
We always have this mentality of rushing,
Yeah.
but why?
Do you think accidents happen because the workers are fatigued? Because they are overstretched at work? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Blueprint by Champions. Today's topic is about zero accidents. Is it a reality or a myth? Joining Khairul and I, we have Raja, who's a EHS practitioner with us today. Thank you, Raja, for joining us today.
Thank you, Shah. Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you. I think it's really good to have both of you guys here to talk about this wonderful topic.
Zero accidents.
Let's dig in.
Reality or myth?
Yes.
So, Raja, zero accidents. We all expect zero accidents, definitely. One death is too much.
Yeah.
So, how do these accidents happen? There are many possibilities. Obviously, there are so many reasons the accident happened, but maybe we could just talk about a few of them. The first one that I would want to touch about is actually more of a language barrier. If you realize now, I would say, 99.9% of the supervisors on site are all non-locals. They are foreigners. So they could be either from Bangladesh, India, China, Philippines, Thailand, and all these countries. So while the supervisor is of one nationality, speaking one language, of course they are speaking English, but the English language can get misunderstood too.
Yeah.
And then the guys who are attending the toolbox meeting, which is the briefing, you have different crowds, India, Bangladesh, and that kind of thing. So could we actually point it to miscommunication or, not understanding what is being briefed in the toolbox meeting for accidents to happen?
What's important thing here is when we speak, it becomes a little bit difficult, especially if there are situations where people don't really understand, right?
Yeah.
So one easy thing to do is, which
Google
I
Translator.
feel that's one. but then again, it can come out as a little bit troublesome.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to do is actions.
Actions, okay. Or a translator?
A translator, but sometimes, it could come as a little bit expensive.
Oh.
And also I feel that, you have to get that translator in for every toolbox daily.
For Khairul, your sites previously, we have encountered many of these. For example, we give a pretty short briefing, only 5-10 minutes, and then we tell so many things, and maybe in the afternoon we will, kind of like catch one guy and say, hey, what did we talk in the toolbox meeting just now? And he don't know anything at all. He didn't understand. We could say that maybe he was not paying attention, but there are many incidents that they don't understand. How do you tackle this?
I think communication, when we talk about supervisors communicating with workers, safety guys communicating with workers, or even the top management communicating with workers, it's very important to be communicating with them in their language. The reason being you need to relate to them. Okay, and the communication does not end only in the toolbox meeting. It's also on site. You have to give the work instruction. You have to go and tell them, oh, this is right, this is wrong, or is there anything that has to be more specifically given them instruction. They definitely need a supervisor who can speak their language.
Multiple languages, if I would say so.
Yes, correct. Preferably their own language, so that not only about communicating, they also will have a personal relationship with the supervisor where they will be able to relate and explain things. They can also voice out their concerns.
Correct.
If not, it will be like a one-way thing. Supervisor tell them, this is this. They just listen to it, and then that's about it. That's it.
Yeah.
If it is going to be the same language person, he will relate back. He'll reply back. Oh no, this I can do this to make it better. So that way things will get more better. So I think that management, it boils down to management. They should train personnel, employ personnel who have workers according to their nationality. I cannot be having 3 supervisors from Bangladesh or Indian, and I'm going to have PRC workers. End of the day, you're going to be chicken and duck story already.
There's going to be a breakdown in communication.
Even if we're going to have a good translator, the Chinese guys comes in to conduct a toolbox meeting communication just to translate, and then after that he goes off. The thing will go off. It won't be there.
It doesn't work. And Say, Raja, for like your sites, how do you tackle this just to make sure that this toolbox briefing is not just simply, ticking exercise where, okay, what we do is that, okay, we just talk something, we get all the workers to sign, acknowledge, okay, they acknowledge they attended the briefing, accident happened, we bring it, proudly show to MOM, see, I did my briefing already, so I'm covered,
Yeah.
and the poor guy who's injured. How do we make sure that he really understands what is being briefed in the toolbox meeting?
So let's face it, efficiency is critical. Okay. A lot of times we just take regulatory requirements and
Exactly.
we think that's about it. But the truth is whether the thing that we did share to the staff, whether the person understands, which is the bigger picture, right? So often the case, it doesn't translate to understanding. So there are a few ways to tackle this for my sites. So what I usually do is I use videos,
Videos, yeah.
a little bit more tech-enabled aids. Pictures, not just pictures, because nowadays, people are expecting videos,
Yeah.
targeted videos, and that would be used to actually communicate the intent, which is a lot more easier than actually speaking the language, right? To people who don't really understand. So that could come out as a big problem as well.
Yeah. And like what you say, I think naturally people, rather than listening, they tend to be more attracted to looking. So when they are seeing a video, they get more interested. They see that, okay, this, maybe if you're talking about work at height and you show them some video, they kind of understand. Even though if it's in English,
Yeah.
obviously it's best to be in their language, but if it's in English, they kind of understand, okay, I'm working at height, I should wear the harness, I should hook the harness, no use wearing the harness, but I should hook the harness and that kind of thing.
Example, I want to do a installation of a panel at the edge of building. So I'm going to do my fault prevention from within the building. I'm going to use the fault restraint method. If I'm going to just tell them, okay, you need to wear a fault restraint system within the building, how many meters, it's not going to work. You need to literally demonstrate, go to the exact location, demonstrate for these specific workers and tell them, and then get that documented, keep that, and must tell the workers that I'm doing all this, and the reason you're signing all these documents is because you are committing to the fact that I've already conducted this training.
And you're aware.
And you're aware. And in the event I move away and you're not complying to it, it's very simple, straightforward. I have evidence to show that. So the workers will be aware, okay, I have some due diligence as well to follow.
Yeah, true enough. I just want to understand on your perspective, Raja. How do your company actually chooses its subcontractors or vendors? Do they have any standards that they follow and etc.?
For the company that I'm working at right now, we do have a third party who helps us with contractor management.
Okay.
So
That's good
if you
then,
guys have heard of exactly right.
Yeah.
If you guys have heard of Comply Works, not too sure if you guys have heard of them. So they actually get people to report and through a subscription.
Okay.
So there's 1 year, there's 3 years, and then they are able to actually see how the contractor is performing over the accidents, the summaries,
Okay.
any past accidents, in fact, what are the certifications that they have? Are they ISO certified? So there are quite a lot of things that you can see in a bird's eye view.
Okay.
But we entirely sub out this whole thing to this third party.
This is only for pre-evaluation or also the subsequent periodic?
Both, including the pre and the sub.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. So that is definitely a very good way to ensure you have very, committed subcontractors or
there's no
vendors.
biasness lah
So there's no biasness. There's no, the safety standards are always there because those are like what you said. ISO is one of those that are being looked at.
Yeah.
But coming to Khairul, I believe we have dealt in a different way where we have had companies who actually, when speaking of biasness, they always particularly take certain subcons or vendors because obviously it's cheaper. We all know that.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. And they have forged a very close relationship with these subcontractors. So because of that, whenever there's anything wrong going on site, the main con safety comes and he says that, no, this one you cannot do, you stop work. He goes to the office, after 5 minutes, someone tells him that, no, this company is already working. Why? Because the main con project manager tells the company that no, never mind, you carry on. Because either they are very close or either, they know that no, this company is very cheap, so I have to a little accommodate. What's your experience on this, Khairul? I'm very sure you have multiple experiences on this.
There are many instances even when the contracts manager will start calling me and telling me, Kai, I'm having difficulty to get contractors for this specific job. You need to be a bit lenient. What we are asking for is what MOM is asking,
The law.
the requirement. What we are telling them is, I don't mind you having the same contractor, but what you need to do is you get involved. Since you calling me, you get involved. You tell them what is the requirement I'm asking, which is not unfair. I'm asking you is what the law is requiring. So get them to comply, and everything will be smooth. So we tackle it in that way lah. You want me to bear with this contractor? No problem. I will bear with this contractor provided he bears with the site requirement. So you have to since you are getting involved, you get involved wholesomely. Get involved. Get them to comply to things. Then things will be working more smooth.
Easier.
Yes.
Have you ever had any incidents that you have met with contractors who do not wish to comply?
Oh,
Raja.
yes. So many, right?
So many, yeah. I think.
And it's often the case because of the relationship with the contractor. If the occupier, is in a contract with so on and so forth, but we are there just as a supplier to help out with something. The relationship is very different. If I were to go down there and say certain things and I want to stop my work because it's unsafe, they won't really listen to me.
Definitely. Yeah.
And then again, they will be asking like, who am I? Which is often the case. So I had some sites like that overseas, which became a big problem because sometimes you make the call to stop the work if it's unsafe, but sometimes you might need to have questions coming from the project side. It is. They ask you, why do you stop the work unnecessarily? But I told them that, hey, you know what? Basic thing that a contractor needs to do, if they are the main contractor, they need to comply to regulatory requirements. And minimally, if I am there as a subcontractor or supplier on site, they need to make sure that the work area, the way that I walk towards that work area has to be safe. Obstruction free. And most importantly, things like our emergency evacuations, our facilities, it has to be there, labeled and clear as well.
I think when speaking about culture, when we are going to speak about zero accidents, it all boils down to culture. What is the culture of the client, the main contractor, the subcontractor? There have been many, accusations that certain main contractors, they actually, employ safety personnel just for the regulatory requirement. The law says that I must have a safety officer, a safety coordinator. Okay, I just employ them and, just for appointment's sake only.
Yeah.
But when they are on site, they are not given any, authority or... I don't want to use the word power.
All this boils down to one simple thing. We are looking at whether accidents is a reality or a myth. Reality, it can be achieved. Number one, it boils down to culture, like what you said. Culture, it starts from top management commitment.
Exactly.
If the top management is committed to give a robust management system, dedicated safety personnel and he does not obstruct his duties, give him the power, then we are looking at the direction of a reality. Okay, if I have CEOs, directors coming to the job site, and the moment they enter the work site, they tell me that everybody needs to wear a safety harness. Okay, regardless of whether you're working on top or below. Why? They say that you're on the work site, you wear a safety harness, full PPE, chin strap. The CEO goes around making sure that the helmet, everyone is wearing a chin strap at the same time. So what? He says that I want to build this culture, this commitment. So if this is being implied, subcontractors, they will have no choice. They have to comply to this. And I also have come across subcontractors who work in this style with main contractor A, and when they go to another contractor, they work in a different style. Because why? This main contractor is very relaxed in safety.
Yeah,
exactly.
So why do I have to follow this? So it comes back to same thing. It comes back to management. If the management is committed, if the management demands for this, if the management says, I want this to be done, regardless of whether the contractor is lousy or not lousy, or whether they are not doesn't want to comply, they have no choice because they also need business. Then they will have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think, Raja, I guess we're in the business of deploying safety guys and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I just want to give one incident because this is just I just got reminded of this incident. We deployed to this particular company. We are deploying to two solar companies,
Okay.
two main contractors and that kind of thing. So we had a subcon. So this subcon was previously for this company. And then they came and did job for another company. And then this subcon was complaining to me because we are deploying safety for that subcon, saying that no, when I was for that main con solar company is so easy. I don't need to give this paperwork. I need to do that. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. But I come to this company so difficult. I need to attend their in-house trainings. I need to do this. I need to do that and that kind of thing. Again, like what you said, is the culture.
Yeah.
You see, if the boss of that subcon can talk to me in this manner, how do you think his message is going to be spread down to his his organizations? It's definitely not a very good culture they have. And if you realize, Raja, I wanted to ask you this also. I'm not sure if you are aware of this. The safety standards in Jurong Island is always higher than mainland. Why? Why, Raja?
Very good question. I think, okay, personally, I always felt that Jurong Island is like a ticking time bomb.
Okay.
Why? Because, there are many oil and gas companies.
Yes.
And generally, they have to meet a very stringent requirement.
Because
Why?
one mistake can go.
The severity of an accident is
Yeah.
catastrophic.
Yeah, it's like that BLEVE, the explosion, right? If you have heard of it, one explodes and everything else explodes together. So you never know, anything can
And the
happen.
cost factor.
Yeah.
Now in the mainland construction, that's if one guy fell down, stop work, maximum, the guy is going to, even it's going to be fatal, they are going to look at a fine of 200,000?
Minimally.
Minimal 200,000, job just stop work, 2 months, 3 months, go under bus, 1 year, they are looking at less than a 1 M, finish the cost. Things get back in normal stage. But whereas in the oil and refinery, the severity of accident is way too big for them to bear. As such, they need to implement such proactive measures so that they can have a system where can prevent any mishaps to happen.
Yeah, if you realize, because why I asked this particular question was because I had multiple, or I would say Khairul and I, we had multiple friends who were either working in Jurong Island or Marine Line. When they come to the mainland, they could not adapt. They got very frustrated. They are saying things like simple things, which I'll just touch on. This is going to be a topic in one of those episodes, but I'll just touch a little on this. One of our friend was saying that, why isn't there a near miss report for any near miss that happens in mainland? Only certain company, they make it a requirement that when a near miss happens, you do a report.
Yeah.
But most of the companies don't do a near miss report. Why? Because there's no requirement for that. You don't need to submit a near, not unlike incident report, unlike dangerous occurrence, you need to submit. Near miss, there isn't a report that needs to be done, because the company's perspective is that if I don't do a near miss report, that means I'm good.
Yeah.
When the near miss don't happen, that means I'm good. That kind of thing. What do you think of that, Khairul?
Many organizations does not want to do it is because of they tend to think that once I have this near miss, it
looks bad.
It looks bad on the company organization, and a lot of paperwork follow up. I need to review the RA, I need to review the SWP, I need to raise a corrective action request and all that.
Maybe in an audit they will ask also.
all
like,
this.
Yeah.
So this is also stopping them. And yes, the point that you say it looks bad. Actually, it doesn't look bad. If I were to be an authority, and I come to see there's an accident happened related to work at height, but you have 4 or 5 near misses related to that, and you have tackled the problem, you have investigated, and still this has happened, that means I have done all my due diligence.
Exactly,
This
that's
is
the
how we can prove to the authorities that we have done all this, and residual risk still accumulated, and that happened. So
Yeah, for Raja, in your case, how do you actually tackle this incident report and near miss report? Do you, say when a near miss happens in your work site,
Yeah.
do you actually enforce your so-called like a vendor or your subcon to make sure they do their near miss? Do you actually review it or do you go through it with them or something?
Okay, so in my case, what happens here is, for me, I do a monthly review.
Okay.
And I do share with the contractors as well through, our own internal meetings as well,
Okay.
which happens on a regular basis, routinely. Some would be fortnightly, some would be monthly. So how do I go about doing it? They actually have this platform again.
Okay.
So one thing I like about the company, it's very techy.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and they are not afraid to try, which is
very good.
very
Definitely.
important
Yeah.
for EHS. So a lot of things that we are discussing about right now, I feel like the reason why people are lazy and skeptical is because it's a bit troublesome, right? To fill up so many documents.
Exactly, that's the thing.
So we should look at things to make it a bit easier, digitally friendly. With a touch of a button, you can fill up a quick document. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah.
I've used codes like Python codes,
Oh, okay.
VBA codes to help with this. And then the important thing here is to train those people who are raising these reports.
Correct,
Yeah, but you can't be teaching all the way down to the ground stuff. So thankfully for right now, my situation, they are all engineers. And they have a certain level of literacy, numeracy. They are understanding, they know what to do in the event of a simple report to report. So for that reason, it's a lot easier to drive changes. But of course, in the construction sector, it is dynamic. It's different.
Okay, we have spoken much about zero accidents reality or myth. As of now, we have come to the end of part 1. Do please catch us in part 2. See you then.